Okay, welcome everyone to the latest Thailand Social Science Seminar, which we call TS4. This is a collaboration between three partners, the Southeast Asian Centre at the University of Sydney, New York Southeast Asia Network, and the Nordic Institute of Asian Studies. I'm Duncan McCargo, Director of the Nordic Institute of Asian Studies and a Professor of Political Science at the University of Copenhagen. So today we're going to have a very topical talk. As many of you will know, probably almost everybody on this seminar knows, Thailand's in the throes of an election, which will actually take place this coming Sunday. So we're only 3 days away from the actual polling happening and finding out what's going to happen. Meanwhile, all sorts of campaigning has been going on around the country, and we're joined today by Assistant Professor Chiang Mai of Chiang Mai University, who's going to talk to us about stories from the Thai North, the 2003 election posters in Chiang Mai and beyond. So Chiang is, as I say, an assistant professor at the Faculty of Political Science at Chiang Mai University. She specializes on electoral politics and political innovation and political communications. And she also has a PhD from the University of Leeds. So confession time, yes, Chiang-Ton's one of my former PhD students as well. So it's great to welcome her back and to have a chance to hear about what she's been up to recently. So Chiang-Ton, please tell us about these posters.
Well, thank you for having me, Professor Duncan McCargo, and the Sydney U and others collaborators. So hello, everyone. So I would like to share my slides. So today, topics of discussion, story from the Thai North 2023 election poster in Chiang Mai and beyond. Okay. So the topics I'm going to talk about, I divided into three main parts. So we're going to talk a little bit about the history part of the political poster in Siam, the former name of Thailand, just a tiny bit part. We're going to talk about the successful candidates. So what makes successful candidates or candidates? Okay, this literally imitates from Professor Duncan McCargo and Callahan, both their papers in 1995 general elections. And the final parts, I'm going to talk about technology bit part from QR codes to augmented reality or AR. So let's begin with the questions. Okay, so the questions that I'm trying to address here. So what are these campaign posters trying to convey to voters? And how do the campaign posters in the northern region, and by all means, when I talk about the northern regions, I stay in Chiang Mai, so I'm going to talk about Chiang Mai mainly. So how it's differ from those in Bangkok. There you go. So let's look at the political poster history part. So thank you so much for the silipatmac.com. So they provide me with the photos, history photos. So what you see in this picture is actually the elections going on, the second general election in Siam, once again, former name of Thailand. Election was held on November 7, 1937. Though it was such a long time ago, literally, so this election was the first time ever for the citizens. It's allowed citizens to vote for the MPs directly. Prior to that, they weren't allowed, such thing. So even though it was the first time, and it was the first time that the evidence provided here that see the political poster emerge in political scenes in Siam, already I highlight these two sentences. They already said that, okay, the court love the nation, do not try to commit treason, which is quite interesting, like consider this is the first time that we see the political poster in Thailand. So the second set, and once again, thank you so much for the Silipat magazine. These are three political posters. So on the very left side, this political candidates trying to compete to be the MP position for the province called Honburi, which is no longer exists, by the way. It's in Bangkok, part of Bangkok right now. So clearly what you see is the way he dressed. He probably is a lawyer at that time. So the second poster, this candidates for MP trying to run for the position in Nakhon Sawan province in the lower northern part of Thailand. So once again, you'll see his proper dress, military, of course, in the ranking at that time, major. So Major Luang Kajon Klang Sanam. It's quite interesting. As for the third photos, and I think this is quite interesting though, in my opinion, because this candidate literally trying to teach citizens how to vote. For example, you say like, you know, you all should vote for number 6. The way to do it, please look at the numbers. There's number 6 over there. Just try to fold the ballot and put the ballot into the box. So it's pretty clear on the instruction. So let's move on to the second part. So what makes successful candidates? Is it because of the personal characteristics of the candidates, previous achievement, politics of clans, educational background, political parties, policies? I'm going to leave vote buying at the very end there. We are not going to cover that. But as far as I see the political posters, I'd probably say I can see the previous achievement within the political poster, educational background, surprisingly, political parties, the affiliation with the political parties, and also the policies. Yes, moving on. So this is the picture of General Prayut Chan-o-cha from United Thai Nation Parties, or Phak Parom Thai Sang Chat in Thai. So clearly what the party tried to say is they tried to say like, okay, it was quite successful in terms of when they initiate the thing called state welfare card. It was quite successful, 10 million people plus benefit from it. So if you choose General Prayut Chan-o-cha once again, you're probably going to get a better version of the state welfare card. So they came up with the idea called welfare card plus. So at the moment, people sort of receive 200 to 300 baht per month to purchase goods. Okay, people with lower income, but okay, next round you're probably going to get 1,000 baht per month. Okay, so once again, another repetitive sentence here. ทำแล้วทำอยู่ทำต่อ done, doing, and we will continue. So if you're going to choose, I'm sorry that I'm laughing now, but if you're going to choose, I mean, if you like him, if you like his previous achievement, please choose this political party. Okay, once again, done, doing, and we will continue. So next one, I tend to think that these 3 photos tend to focus on sort of personal achievement rather than political parties. So this is Phak Seri Rwam Thai political poster, or Thai liberal parties. This is a photo of former Commissioner General of the Royal Thai Police, Phol Ttamrwat Ek Seri Pisut Premiyavet. Though Seri Pisut retired from his police career for at least 10 years ago. As you can see, the picture is still showing his, well-dressed, fully functioned dress of police officer, because he's really famous for his acts on, act on anti-corruptions or acts against any types of crimes. So he kind of used that photos to remind people of his achievement in the past. So on the right side, you can see these are photos of the head of the political party, Thai Sang Thai Party, which considered to be new political parties. However, Sudarat trying to remind people, the head of the party, trying to remind people that she's been in the political scene for at least 30 years. So there you go, 30 years of Sudarat. And she tried to say that she's been supporting the democracy all along for all her 30 years of career. So on the left, this is the Sudarat in her old version, and this is more or less like this current time. Let's move along to the educational backgrounds. In Bangkok, I was quite surprised because I don't really think anyone gonna put like their degree, like all their degrees on political poster, but we've seen it now. So on the left, the candidate from Phumchai Thai Party, she literally done her high school from Wattana Vidya Academy, Faculty of Arts, Chulalongkorn University, the oldest university in Thailand, another degree from Faculty of Economics, and also prestigious Ivy League, Yale University. So I thought maybe she's the only one who did this, but then, okay, on the right-hand side of everybody, so another candidate from Pheu Thai Party, you're probably going to see the small hashtag right here. It say that University of Oxford, Columbia University, and also last one, the University of California, Los Angeles, so UCLA. So we got two political candidates who showing their sort of education background, like very well educated, both of them. How about in Chiang Mai then? Surprisingly, okay, I don't really see anyone put on the big poster and state their educational background. But then again, I received this two brochure from two political parties. On the left side, the candidate from District 1, Pheu Thai parties. So he literally state here that he he finished his high school in Montfort College. He got 3 degrees and also 1 degree from abroad from England, as I say here. And on the right-hand side, this candidate from Thai party is also mentioned as well that he graduated from Chiang Mai University. So let's move along to the political parties and affiliations. As you can see here, all the political candidates or the head of the political party try to, as you can see from the left side, they all try to say that, you know, they got strong bond, or at least they got official endorsement from the political party, official endorsement from the head of the party or public figures of the people who represent this political party, like this, the guy from District 1 got photos with Pae Thong Tan Shinawat, the daughter of Thaksin, and also the candidate from District 1 as well in Chiang Mai, photo with General Prawit Wongsuwan, the head of the political party of Palang Pracharat. And these two definitely try to say that we endorse General Prayut Chan-o-cha to be, again, the Prime Minister. And so this photo from the Seri Rum Thai. Okay, let's move along. So this is quite interesting in my opinion. All of a sudden I've seen this many posters of this political party called Thailand Together Party. They just changed their name last year. Actually, this political party started to emerge in the political scene in 2018, but then it changed its name. So right now, this is a person that has been, if you travel around in Chiang Mai, you probably see this person a lot. And she just called herself Madame Yok. That's it really, no real name. Like I have to literally Google like who's Madame Yok, because it said here, Madame Yok, and she's the advisory chairman and also the branch head for the northern region of this political party. Literally this political party, if you look back on the background, it has strong bond with the then government parties. So Madame Yok, what she's trying to say here, she's trying to, well, I did interview her and she mentioned that her political party, she got an idea of why lots of people tend to think that Pheu Thai represents everybody in Chiang Mai. Why can't be another chance for a new political party? So therefore, Phak Rwam Phadin or TTP Thailand Together Party can be another choice as well. So as you can see here, she tried to really focus on the policy on PM 2.5 and promote Clean Air Act right here. So for Chiang Mai people. And also, if you see the font here, so this is a typical Thai font, but then again, this part is Lana font from the northern part of Thailand. And also she dressed in the proper Thai dress. And when I look at it, I think it's back in the Rama V era. And also she used here the northern Thai language. Say like, I would like to volunteer to taking care of you all. Something like that. So this is quite interesting as well for this political party. So main public figures based in Chiang Mai province. There you go. So these are the policy of the political parties, and I probably run through pretty fast here. So on the left side, Pheu Thai tend to really promote for the digital wallet of 10,000 baht. Chart Patana Kla political parties, they say they would like to reduce income tax. If you receive a salary of 40,000 baht or less, you don't need to pay taxes at all. Cheaper price for the electricity bills. And also here, Seri Pisut from Phak Seri Rum Thai political parties. Again, anti-corruption. That's what it's called for. And also these political parties, Thai Pakti parties, aim to promote like fast internet, though it's not cheap though, because we have to pay still, but we get high-speed internet at least. Chat Thai Patana parties talk about welfare, and also they got AR here, which I'm going to talk about the AR later. Sudarat Gayurapan from Thai Sang Thai Party talks about quick cash with small interest rates. And this party, the new party called Thak Plien or just change party, talks about free live football matches. And also, again, Thailand Together parties talk about soft power. And she mentioned Banna identity. So specifically talks about northern region part of Thailand. Okay, so let's move to the technology part, from QR codes to augmented reality. I find it quite impressive. So these are in Chiang Mai province. So what you can see is either LED or LCD screen that they've been used during the public events, public talks. So this political candidate, I'm sorry, it's a bit blur here. She's from District 4. She got her websites around here, and also you can scan the QR codes, and I'll show you in the next slide. If I scan the QR code, what I'm seeing. So, and I really like this mascot. They use mascots during the public event as well. This mascot called a little boiled eggs. And this is quite interesting though. If you are here, then you would like to share to your friend that you are here, you can do the QR code and check in and share it to your Facebook or whatever to show that you are already here. So after I scan through from her website, pudita.com, so I see educational background, works experience here, and also the plan, the budget plan of her political campaigning. I think she estimated nearly 1.5 million baht to use during her election campaigns. And also here, quite transparency as well, how much money she's been receiving so far from the donors. So I really enjoying to look at that, basically. So not only online thingy that you can do, you can also participate during the election campaigning offline as well. So these are, I don't really know what to call it, but they'll give you one string if you would like to try, and then you can put the string here. Let's say like, okay, whether you're male, female, LGBTQ+, you put it here, your age, and then what kind of policy you would like to, you probably interested in, and then sort of mini policy over there. So they will use this to collect data from people who participate in this thing. So lastly, I would like to focus on the augmented reality, which is quite interesting. Not only this political party, but also parties like Move Forward Party that you have newspaper, if you scan with your phone, and then it will come up the photos and everything, the video will come up just like, sort of like Harry Potter version or some. But while I was parking the car at the intersection, I saw the big poster of a Thai Sang Thai Party with the QR code. It doesn't say augmented reality or anything, but when I scanned it, say here, click to listen. And when I clicked it, Sudarat Gayurapan, the head of the political party, started to talk policy for I think like 1 minute or something, which is quite interesting. So that's it really for my presentation, and talks about, from history, what we've seen so far in Chiang Mai and also in Bangkok, and ending up with the technology which used during 2023 upcoming election. Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much, Nintel. Now, at this point, we're going to open up the session for questions. And if people have questions, we're not using chat, we're using Q&A. So please post any questions that you have for the speaker in the Q&A, and then we can put those questions to Nintel. So maybe I can start off by asking you a couple of things. The Sudarat posters are particularly interesting, aren't they? Because there seems to be like a whole series of these Sudarat posters, and as far as I know, other political parties did the same thing. So we used to see one poster being like the standard poster almost everywhere for a party, but now all the main parties seem to have a series of posters, 5 or 6 posters with related themes, with different policy ideas, or in Sudarat's case, 6 different posters of her hugging different people all along the road. And some people say that this is like an Instagram story or something like that. Can you say anything about this new phenomenon of the the poster series. And I've also seen card series where people have physical cards in series. And this is stuff that I didn't come across in previous Thai elections.
I suppose many political parties, they hire a professional agency, which prior to this period, I mean, you can see like the pretty advancement. If you look back in 2019 general election in Thailand, I suppose before the Move Forward Party, so Anakot Mai, the Future Forward Party has been, used this pretty advanced in terms of this. And I think by then, at that time, I remember, I'm not sure like who mentioned to me, but those agency, one of them mentioned that Sudarat I would like to ask people who can do a podcast for her at that time. So because at back then, the first political party that adopt podcasts, before I'm going to post it, there were political party that used podcasts, and after that, other political party trying to imitate. So after the Future Forward Party used podcasts, then we've seen Pheu Thai podcast, we've seen many other political podcasts, something like that. I think it's the same thing though with this political poster, where they say like, hey, look, last time they only thought about, okay, if you're going to put the poster like this, with 3 people going to win in one constituency, probably the middle one will be the one we saw the most. Or if we're going to put the poster down under like this. But now we see the changing trend, and I think they try to capture literally everything. So they hire professional companies to do so. And I remember I really like the symbol of Thai Sang Thai Party with the S, like Saw Sura. So you can say like, okay, it's Thai Sang Thai Party, and also literally the Saw Sura thing can refer to Sudarat as well. So it's really easy to remember. And so I asked their candidates, and they said, oh, we've been thinking a lot about this, and we try to come up, with something that's something that quite catchy for voters to attract on. So I guess like after one political party create this sort of many photos, many types of so many policies provided into poster, and then other parties kind of sort of imitated, in my opinion.
So do you know who started the poster series phenomenon? Who was the first party to do that?
Well, that's a good question there. I would say always, I mean, in my opinion, I think Sudarat may be the first one. Because it was last time I remember during the election for the governor of Bangkok. I think she always the first one who adopted this. For example, prior to her era, the political poster tend to be smaller, if you all remember. And then when Sudarat came into the scene, so the poster then getting way larger than that. So it was like that. And up until now, I think this is the first political party that's adopted a series of political poster, in my opinion.
Great, thanks. If anyone has a question, please put it into the Q&A, because we're not accessing the questions by any other method. So I've got a raised hand sign here, but please put your question in the Q&A. Okay, I have a question here from Pailin Pujinapan asking you, it goes a little bit beyond the posters. In your opinion, what's the difference between Pheu Thai and Move Forward Party, both strategy-wise and policy-wise?
Okay, so we move from outside of the topic of the political poster. And in terms of policy-wise, I suppose, well, the Move Forward Party is really fresh on the policy. I mean, they dare to talk about the 112, which nobody dare to do it. Even Pheu Thai is pretty much pretty quiet on this. Basically, they dare to do about many other new policies as well. But I think Pheu Thai kind of, in my opinion, in my humble opinion though, they kind of stick with the same sort of policy. For example, when they came up with the digital wallet of 10,000 baht per people, I think it's kind of same as previous before, even though they're trying to use like the word like digital wallet, but the concept is still the same. About maybe, well, humble opinion, maybe a bit on the populist side policy perhaps, but then Move Forward Party, they tend to support new thing. I mean, they've been talking about reform so many things, military reforms, and many other things that lots of political party wouldn't sort of dare to say. And also on the strategy wise, when I look at the Pheu Thai public speaking events, it's pretty traditional in my opinion. For example, like every time that Move Forward Party came, they'll use, like, as I mentioned, LED, LCD screen. So you feel like excited and everything. But Pheu Thai probably gonna use the plain, but they use the LCD alongside, but then again, like the main background, the backdrop, it's pretty plain. And also like they keep on using the same public figures who came up into the stage and say, and also they, I think in my opinion though, is pretty same what they did in the last election. And right now at the moment, why Move Forward Party compared to previous election, they changed a lot. Got lots of small gimmick for people to do as well.
Perhaps I could just follow up on that one before we go to the next question, which is, Pheu Thai, of course, has 3 prime ministerial candidates, and there are posters up of all 3 of them. There's Ung Ing, there's Seta, and there is Chai Gasay. Do you think this is sending out a confusing message, or is it good? Because sometimes you see 3 of them on one poster, or 3 separate posters, or 2 of them on one poster. What do you think is going on with this multiple prime ministerial candidate posters that seem to be everywhere?
To be honest, I'm a bit confused like everyone else, okay. But I think yesterday Seta answered the question. It's very well though, in the sense that, okay, the MC asked the same question like you did, and he mentioned it's very dangerous to only propose one candidate. So the political party has been facing, so many challenges during the past. So what happens if we only endorse one candidate and then like they disqualify them or something, him or her? All of a sudden they wouldn't have any political candidates left. So I guess it's a smart move to answer that question. And up until now, I still don't really know who's going to be the next prime minister if Pheu Thai got the landslides. I got literally no clue.
It might be a good political strategy, but in terms of branding, it does leave something to be decided. Okay, Frank Munger has a couple of questions here. Is there a shifting balance between TV ads and posters? What's the difference among parties, I guess, in relation to that? And what about differences in tech savvy among the constituencies of different parties? I guess that's also alluding to, would you have different kinds of campaign strategy in different parts of the country? Will the Bangkok people be getting different kind of posters or ads from people in, say, the north?
I think in Bangkok, I found it quite interesting. Like I've got so many photos and say that, like, for example, like one candidate, his nickname was Bank, and he kind of say like, let's, ask Bank to help out, but instead of use the keyword Bank, it's like, money, ask some money to help out or something like that. And also the candidates from Move Forward Party say that very small, Thai, in Thai character, very small, and saying that, okay, I've been cursed on this political person who's destroyed this political person, you will be cursed or something like that. So there's a small gimmick there, but I guess it's pretty simple and normal in Chiang Mai. Maybe they use the Thai northern language to trying to convincing people around here. But then again, I think it's more straightforward. But what I found interesting is that so one candidate from the Move Forward Party mentioned that. So wherever, for example, the government political party, I wouldn't say which political party, whenever they place a political poster, they have to place a Move Forward Party poster next to that political party, just to show that they sort of disagree with the then political parties. So this is quite fun too.
Right, yeah, Frank sort of added a clarification that what he meant was also QR codes. He says, my older relatives would have no clue. I must admit I have a violent aversion to QR codes myself. But do you think ordinary, Chao Ban villagers in Chiang Mai are familiar with QR codes, or is this something that in the new generation know about?
Well, you don't, well, in my humble opinion, once again, I'm sorry, but you don't need to be tech savvy to use QR codes. And by the way, because we use we all use like digital wallet right now, right?
Yes.
We use
Yeah.
QR code to pay, being
Yeah.
called money or whatever. So people kind of getting used to it by now.
Right.
Even like 50
Right.
People in 50s, 60s. So.
Even people as old as me are in fact using QR codes in Chiang Mai these days. Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
So it's not such an exotic thing as we might think, because people are so familiar with the digital payment kind of system. Yeah. So Eric White asks, how important in the election are traditional political posters given the increasing presence and use of social media for political communication? What does political campaigning via social media add beyond the traditional material political posters? Because you might think these posters are out of date now. There's so much social media, who cares about posters? But there seem to be more posters than ever. And why are there so many more, very conventional posters, very analog posters in a world that has really gone digital in so many other ways?
I think somehow, well, offline campaigning is still important, right? Still crucial. Otherwise, you wouldn't see like 10 or 20 or even 30,000 people waiting for some political parties just to listen to, public speaking events. So when I see the poster, the problem with the political poster is that it's very small. When you try to say something, it's very limited in it, just like Twitter, if I may say. And I remember one party say like, okay, any other political party can say whatever, but only us who did it before. So they probably use like 3 political posters to convey that, trying to say the message. And I think that's a problem there. But for social media, you have to understand one thing though. People with different generation tend to use different types of social media. For example, the younger generation tend to use the TikTok, right? And also maybe Twitter. I'm not sure you got any Twitter, Professor Duncan, just kidding. But
Nias does. Nias does.
So I know that back then in 2019, the Future Forward Party, I think they hired some company, and they know that when they post Facebook, they post anything on Facebook, which location of the potential voters, which people from where receive the message from the Future Forward Party. And what they found out is that for the social media, only main provinces, for example, like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, maybe Phuket, Khon Kaen, or the provinces that had many students, those provinces receive lots and lots of message, and people, make lots of engagement after they, did some campaigning online. But what about other provinces? Thanathorn mentioned not so much. And also, this is like a trend or กระแส. So when Thanathorn did hashtag like help Thanathorn name the political parties, he mentioned it was, กระแส or trends only like within day or two, and then it faded away. So I think like poster, well, should be some reason why poster need to be there, right? Because trends comes and goes, and they need to do it every day. That's why I think it's a bit different between social media and political poster. It's better to, when I drive and see political poster, it's better to see it every day rather than I have to look into social media, which is really, things go really fast nowadays. So.
Right, so they're not obsolete, despite all that we might think. Your analysis, this Patrick Pierce asks, your analysis is about both text and subtext of the posters. Could you say more about the subtext, like the use of Lana font to emphasize local connections? Are there any other examples of subtle or not so subtle subtext in the posters? I guess you also just mentioned these hidden messages from the Move Forward Party in the posters. Were there other examples?
Well, I can bring it up again about the forgot the English name, but Pak Ruom Pandin, the one with the Lana thingy. I think what they're trying to say, like they're trying to say really hard that like they would love to be the next political parties in people's mind, maybe even before Pheu Thai party. They say like we are small today, but we're gonna keep, repetitively state, send the message and say that one day we may be getting bigger, who knows? And also they try to convince actually, like when Madame Yok say, okay, yeah, it was my intention to put only Madame Yok so people can try to find like, who am I to say like I'm only Madame Yok? And then they'll realize that, I was born and bred, grew up in Chiang Mai. I received all the way through like all my education in Chiang Mai province or something like that. So, and then now they're getting familiar with me. But some people argue as well, even people who work with the political parties think that though it may seem that these Ruam Pandin political parties, they aim to win some seats for general election, but then again, in the opinion, maybe they're better off going on the local elections. And I think it's possible for them. I mean, even some candidates, if they lose this general election, they may perform better during the local elections. So they can shift, I think.
Okay, thanks a lot. So we have another question from Andy Asmawati. Are there professional agencies doing the supporters preference mapping? Does the agency work with multiple political parties? Are they also big players in the national level? So what role do professional advertising agencies have in these campaigns? Sure.
So I remember one page declare like how much political parties spend on Facebook ads, for example. And I found out that Pheu Thai spent a lot on Facebook ads, while some other party, we couldn't find any evidence that they use Facebook ads. There were, what was quite interesting, like what are the role of agency? I think at this stage, at this election, according to the thing that I've been researched, I think literally, and I have to say that every political party hire agency to do pretty much literally everything. And also each political candidate, for example, like candidates for MP, they hire their personnel helper to create a TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and post it every single day. So not only the agency, but also small scale, like, for example, there were many students from my university were hired by the candidates to help out with the social media as well. So I think right now it's just unavoidable to hire agency, but also not only the agency that they hire to pretty much cover up doing everything. Also, they hire the company, because some agency can't do this, they hired a company to track the performance online. For example, they try to hire the company to track only few numbers of company that can do this. They can track like where their voters, potential voters located at. And also because the Twitter tend to change their rules and regulations, it's really hard to, for example, you can hide it on your iPhone, for example, and you wouldn't really know like where you're going to be located at. But some very few company can doing this, and I think they probably maybe work for more than one political party. Just maybe though.
Right. So it's complicated because you have got the big agencies, but also a lot of candidates seem to be hiring, as you say, just students and people to work on that. They don't completely trust the central party to take care of everything. They're doing their own personal Facebook pages and hiring people for that too. Eric White asks, how new is this technique of using multiple adjacent posters to tell political stories? Was this common in previous elections?
I don't think it's quite common in previous election. And also the technique, for example, like the opposition political parties try to place the poster next to the government party is quite new technique as well. And try to say like, okay, have you seen the differences? And then if you don't vote for them, then vote for me, because obviously we are so different. So right now, I think it became like, in my humble opinion, once again, it's sort of like American politics, where there was so much divided between those who are, pro-democracy or well, not so pro-democracy. But then again, the government party would say like, oh, we also pro-democracy because we're in election too. But then again, yeah.
Have you seen many attack posters? Because I know in some places, certainly in the Deep South, there are posters attacking the marijuana policy of Bumjaitai, Gancha Seri, Have you seen posters that are setting out to deliver negative messages about other parties or candidates?
Of course, there's posters like, for example, we do not want 3P, Prayut, Pravit, and
Okay.
So that's like the obvious one of the political party, or maybe not attacking directly, but then again, like sort of, well, is it bad to say like bragging that, okay, we did it before, you know, what we done is our previous achievement and nobody can take it away, something like that. So that's what I've seen so far.
Right. Yeah. What do you think about this move forward slogan, Pratet Thai Mainland, you know, when they say, you know, we'll make Thailand not the same as it used to be? It seems like a very vague phrase, and it's on almost every single one of their posters. Does that communicate something to people clearly, or is it a kind of a coded message? Because some of the posters seem to have these semi-cryptic messages where you have to be sort of in order to understand what the poster is referring to.
Well, I think it's quite easy though when they keep on saying, and literally it's quite easy for other political candidates. Well, you have to understand one thing. So one message can be used like in the entire political party, which is quite easy, like Ga Gao Kai, and then Pratet Thai is like a rhyme, like Ga Gao Kai, Pratet Thai, ไม่เหมือนเดิม. So, well, choose Gao Kai, then Thailand would be the same. So it's so they try to say that they are fresh, they are new. If you choose them, it won't be the same, like we promise it, something like that. So
yeah, so there seems to be a lot of very similar taglines along the lines of Put Lao Tam, like the Bum Jai Thai, say it and then do it, right? So there's lots of very, very similar phrases, and I'm starting to get them all mixed up between the different parties.
Well, some people take it seriously though. For example, Bum Jai Thai say, you know, what we said, we're probably going to do it, right? But then there's one event where, okay, we invite some political parties to be on the stage for the debating event. And then the candidate accepted. And then later on, it said, oh, I'm not free anymore. And some, the candidate from that party said, oh my gosh, this is because we say, you know, Put Lao Tham, but then we sort of rejected it later on. Or, you know, feel so worried now that what's it's going to be like for voters, something like that. So
right. Okay, and John Brandon asks, in past elections, people used to talk about vote buying. Is vote buying still pervasive as it once was? And if not, why?
Well, it's getting worse, to be honest. It's getting worse. What do you want me to say?
I thought you were going to say that. Yes, right. Yeah.
Right. You have to think about one thing, though, about inflation rate as well when you calculate the budget on vote buying, right? So this year, I mean, as of April this year, the inflation rate in Thailand a bit lower than 3%, but last year was 6%. So you have to count on that as well. For example, one event, people can receive up to maybe like 500 baht or 1,000 baht. And point being said, there's so, well, can I say there's so many groups that perform vote buying. So right now, I bet people in a single household may receive more than 2 times of the budget of something. So it's getting worse though, but it's not, I don't really think it is going to work like before. And I keep on mentioning that. And I don't really know why they still use its tactic and hopes to win.
Right. Now, those of us who'd hoped that it might have gone away by now will be sadly disappointed because there's stories everywhere of money swimming around. The more difficult question is how much of it is changing the final outcome, because some people just take the money and vote for someone else, and some people take money from multiple people. So how effective do you think it is these days?
Because last time when I did my PhD, which is quite a long time ago, like 8 years ago, when I asked voters, it's only like 5% of people who's going to vote because of the vote buying, just 5%. And those were like really small numbers. And now I believe it's maybe smaller than ever.
Great. We have another question from James Wise, which actually was a question I was thinking of asking you. I've been in Doi Saket during the entire election campaign. Today, for the first time, I saw a poster for Bum Jai Thai that looked to have been vandalized. Has vandalism been a problem generally? If so, which parties have been targeted? Have you seen lots of vandalized posters in Chiang Mai?
Well, some, but not a lot. So the party that was targeted the most, maybe can I say the name though? Like, okay, the probably the government party.
The government party's got the most vandalized. Yep.
But in a positive side, some candidates use this as well, use this reason like, oh, you see, like my post has been vandalized and someone fix it for me, you know, someone tried to, you know, helping me out with this. So at least, you know, some people supported me. So
right, there are some people saying if our posters get vandalized, that shows they're scared of us. We're you know, we've got an important message there. Yes, so you can take it as a compliment, but that's a slightly perverse interpretation.
One thing though, maybe not so related to the political poster, but this is becoming the trend and is now very normal. The booing incidents. Yeah. So I've been the events in central part of the city center in Chiang Mai. The booing was so bad up to the point where the candidate cannot speak. I mean, she basically can't speak and she has to wait for the MC to say like, oh, just calm down. And to be honest, I'm from Bangkok and work in Chiang Mai province. I never see anything like this before. I thought Chiang Mai, you know, northern people, they have the image of being cool and calm and everything. But nowadays, like, oh, even the event in university, there were so many booings. And at some point, I think it became like very normal nowadays.
And which parties were being booed the most?
Well, it depends which party is on the stage, but normally, once again, the party that's the government party.
The government party's got a lot of being given a hard time. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Great. We're almost at the end of our time here. I think this has been a fascinating discussion. Did you have any final point you wanted to stress to us about these posters?
So since I'm in Chiang Mai right now, lots of people say whether it's Pheu Thai going to win like every constituency. We got 10 constituencies in Chiang Mai now. Can I predict? Though we political scientists, we can't really saying that for certain, like for certainty, be so sure about it. But I think there's a chance, maybe chances for a Move Forward party to be able to win maybe District 1 and maybe a couple of other districts, maybe up to 2 out of 10 districts. I think possibly. Right. So let's wait and see.
Because that happened last time in the by-election, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, once before with Future Forward. So yes, Chiang Mai is the kind of place you might expect that to happen. It'll be very interesting to see.
And the political candidates from Pheu Thai know they knew it, so they're trying really hard this time not to lose. To be fair,
right.
We shall see.
So it's pretty intense. Yes, one of the many places where this contestation is extremely lively and vigorous, and will not get any less so over the next 3 days. Great. John Brandon sends us a message.
Thank you.
Saying how much he enjoyed things. So yes, John, always good to see you and to see many other old friends asking questions and online today. So I think everyone will agree this has been a great presentation, and Jinto's done a fantastic job of fielding the many and varied questions. So thank you so much for everybody for joining this latest of our Thailand social science seminars, and the series continues. Watch out for the announcements. Thanks very much, Jinto, for your talk and for the audience today.
Thank you for having me. Thanks everybody.